So, some of these red flags, I always say, um, if your leader demands, absolute loyalty, that's always a big one. You're not allowed to ask questions. You get that all the time. If you ask questions, you're rebellious. Leadership shames you, that kind of thing. Sometimes they'll claim they have special revelation, but that goes to that. You're the voice of God. God speaks to me through you. Well, God has my phone number. If he wants to say something to me, he can say it to me. There's no real accountability. You see that a lot. They never admit their faults or mistakes. They always gaslight or switch. There's always secrecy, isolating you from your family or friends. I don't like using the word cult. I kind of like saying they're high control groups with cult-like tendencies. But I came up with my own acronym for cult. C is they're always trying to control you. It's
Yeah.
like I always say you can tell if your church is healthy if sin like this is exposed. How many people stand up and call it out? The more people, the healthier the body is, because everybody knows their role. If they try and cover it up, you have a sick, unhealthy church. And the crazy part was most people are not taught that. Like I said, they think, well, the pastor, I pay him to give me a good word and go on my way, kind of thing. But so the cult thing was, they're always high control groups. They're always wanting to control you. The U is ultimatums. They're always ultimatums to anything you do. If you do this, if you don't do this, this will happen. If you leave the group, God's going to, you're leaving God, that kind of thing. What I've seen is there's always lust and lies. Those two things are always in these groups. Every Roy's report and the things you guys do. And then it always ends in tyranny. And you read Jesus's description of his job, where it says, I've come to, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. And you hear these guys' stories in college and they're going, the burden's heavy. This is that. And I was like, wait a second. Well, you're in a man's system. You're not in God's system, because it's not supposed to be heavy. Well, I talked to one college student. It's like, I got to get up at 6 a.m. and do workout, and he's working till midnight. And I'm like, this is not healthy, and so many, this group teaches, well, if we don't do it, who's going to reach the lost? Like, you're not the only show in town, man. It's that arrogance of so many of these pastors and even denominations that think, if God doesn't use us, then, no one's going to be saved.
What was the U again?
Ultimatum.
Ultimatum. You get these
Yeah,
ultimatums.
the stuff, a lot of it's not really, I'm going to develop it once I get my
I like
nonprofit.
it. Control, ultimatums, lust and lies, and tyranny. That sums it up so very, very well, what is going on. Even if you don't want to call them an out and out cult, but you say it's these groups with cult-like tendencies. Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, they're not full on cults where they're, that's
drink the Kool-Aid kind of thing.
They're soft cults. But again, to be honest, this isn't popular. How many churches in America are soft cults? You think about it. They got one guy leading the show. It's his way or the highway. Everybody pays money to, for his, jets and planes and all these houses and stuff like that. Have you ever seen a pastor open up his wallet and basically give back to you? Our church, we meet in a motorcycle bar, and God, gave us this place. The owner's like, you don't have to pay anything. By the way, the bar's open, but we get the stage and everything. We don't even really teach tithing. It's like, if someone has a need, we give. We help each other out. We have a meal every Sunday. Everybody brings food. It's so much fun, and people come and go, wait a second.
And you have friends.
This doesn't look anything like, what I'm normally going to. So I think the whole system, like somebody said, are they going to reform the Chi Alpha system or the Assemblies of God system? I said, absolutely not, because it was created by man. God has no responsibility to reform your man-made system. He wants his system. And that's what's happening. And the people that are yelling the loudest, in my opinion, like the whole, stuff of America going on here with Doge and, politicians screaming because we're trying to balance the budget and we're uncovering corruption. The ones that are screaming the loudest are the ones who have the most to lose, in my opinion.